What is your pledge?
My pledge is eternal service.
Hey everybody, this is 16-Bit, and today we're going to be reviewing Space Marine 2. This game, I honestly started out just wanted to talk a little bit about it, but it's so good that it turned into a full review. First thing I want to do is talk about the gameplay. If you've ever played War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron, the melee and the third-person shooter reminds me of that game to the T. The only problem is you can't turn it to a car and drive off, or a jet and fly away. But when it comes to the mechanics of the gameplay, it's one for one. It's easy to pick up. If you've never played a third-person shooter before, you can pick this up. It's easy to play and you'll love it. You feel like a Space Marine running around in the heavy power armor, and with every step you take, your controller rumbles, the screen rumbles, and the sound, you can hear yourself cracking the earth underneath your feet. And one fun thing I found out is if you run into enemies that are smaller than you, they instantly explode underneath the weight of your power armor. It's amazing. So when it comes to the actual gameplay and the story, the Space Marine 2 takes place 100 years after the events of Space Marine 1. We find our hero Titus as a Black Shield. Black Shields are honestly Space Marines who have forsaken their chapter colors, meaning maybe their chapter turned to chaos during the heresy, so they became a Black Shield, or even if a Space Marine is under punishment for, unfortunately, sometimes heresy or anything like that, disobeying an order, they'll then become Black Shields as well. So, if you remember, Titus was exposed to chaos magic and warp energy, and he was accused of heresy, and this is why he's a Black Shield. Where we pick up, Titus is on a planet that is overran by the Tyranids. Tyranids are a group of bug-like aliens, and their only mission throughout the universe is to eat every single living thing. Through this, they become stronger, they become more adaptive, and they're able to defend themselves against any kind of enemy that they would have. Your first mission is to launch a super weapon to help push back this Tyranid horde. So once you're done slashing and bolt rifling through the Tyranids in front of you, you do succeed in releasing this weapon and launching it. Unfortunately, right after it launches, you're swarmed by another horde of Tyranids. And this time, we got some big ones in the mix. So, after suffering a mortal wound to the chest, right before you black out, you see that the cavalry is coming in, and it's your old chapter, the Ultramarines. Once you wake up, you see yourself on the battle barge, and you're being addressed by a chaplain who then tells you that you've undergone the Rubicon surgery. The Rubicon surgery is what turns a regular Space Marine into a Primaris Space Marine. And the differences are that a Primaris Space Marine is a lot stronger, a lot faster, and a lot durable than your run-of-the-mill Space Marine. Now that you're back as a Space Marine, now that you're back a part of the Ultramarines, you're demoted from Captain down to Lieutenant, and you have to prove yourself all over again, and you need to prove that you're not under the influence of chaos. From start to finish, this game is non-stop action. You get so much 40k lore, and you're enthralled into the grim dark future. In true Warhammer fashion, you're going to have 6 different classes you can choose from. First, we're going to have our tactical. They can use most of the standard rifles, they have the bolter pistol, and they have the chainsword as an attack. This is going to be your standard Space Marine. Next, we have our assault. These Marines have a jump pack, no primary weapon, they can use all the sidearms, and they can use the chainsword, thunderhammer, and the power fist. Next Marine we have are the Vanguard. The Vanguard's claim to fame is that they have a jump cable. Then we have the Bulwark. This is going to be your shielded Space Marine. They use the Power Sword. Unfortunately, they don't have a main weapon, and they only use the Bolter Pistol and the Plasma Pistol. After this Marine, we have the Sniper class. Your Sniper class, they're going to be your primary, you have them off somewhere scouting the field. They can use all the sniper rifles. They have the Bolter sidearm, and unfortunately, they can only use the Combat Knife. Last but not least, we have our Heavy. Your Heavy is going to have the Heavy Bolter and the Heavy Plasma Gun. They do have the sidearm, the pistol, or the Bolter Pistol and the Plasma Pistol, but they don't have a melee weapon. And then in the PvP, this is where you can actually use your Chaos Marines. Your tactical is going to be just a Chaos Marine, so no one in particular, but they do have the symbol of Horus on the side, so that leads me to think that they're part of the Sons of Horus. Your Assault is actually going to be a Night Lord. So they still get the power hammer, they still get the chainsaw, but it's just going to be the skin of the Night Lords. After that, your next is going to actually be the World Eaters. So your Vanguard is going to be the World Eaters. They still have that grappling hook. They're still fast, so you just get to play as a World Eater. Your Bulwark is actually going to be your Death Guard. So I'm wondering why they decided Death Guards as the Bulwark instead of the Heavy, but I'm not inside one at Games Workshop's head, and that's what they decided. Your Sniper is actually going to be a part of the Alpha Legion. This is the first time I've ever seen a Alpha Legion armor set, and minus it having the gold throne or the gold eagle on the front, it's not bad armor. And then last but not least, your Heavy is actually going to be the Iron Warriors. Once again, I think I would have put the Death Guard as the Heavy, but that's just what they wanted to do. So, saying all that to say, between the operations and extra story, the storyline of the game, the main campaign, the PvP, and the customizations, I would give this game an overall 4.5 out of 5. There are a few things I would want being a veteran Space Marine fan. I would probably want more weapons from different armies. I play Space Wolves, so it would be amazing to have a chain axe. I do know that with the coming update, they will be adding some Dark Angel equipment, so looking forward to that. And with the actual DLC and Season Pass, you get options to other successor classes, like the Space Sharks. So that's a cool color set to run around in as well. I would definitely say this is a game to buy. Even at the $79 price range, I would still say buy it. I actually picked up the pre-order, I think Gold Edition, so I can play it 3 days early. The story is a little short, but it's still a good story. So once again, it's your money at the end of the day, but I would say this is a good buy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.